People were shocked when Joe Manganiello and Sofia Vergara announced their split. Joe seems to have moved on very quickly, and his new flame is way younger than Sofia. Meanwhile, Sofia might be older, but she still looks better than ever. Like she's planning her revenge, and now some crazy details are coming out about their breakup. Sofia and Joe certainly look like a celebrity match made in heaven. They allegedly had enough things in common, and a family member basically set them up. That family member is Jesse Tyler Ferguson, who starred with Sofia on Modern Family. Jesse's side of Joe and Sofia's meet cute is crazy. Jesse said he knew Joe through people, and he introduced Joe and Sofia at a party. Sofia was still with her old fiance when this happened, but after the news broke that her engagement was over, Jesse said that he immediately got a call from Joe. Joe told Jesse that he needed Sofia's number, and Jesse thought he better call Sofia first. Shockingly, Jesse said that Sofia didn't want to give Joe her number at first. That is until Jesse figured out Sofia was just pretending she didn't want to go out with Joe. Jesse said he knew the real truth, and Jesse said that he let Joe take it from there. But Joe did more than that. Joe began a hot pursuit of Sofia. Their first date was on June 14th, 2014. Shockingly, Joe hopped on a plane just to take Sofia out to dinner because Sofia was filming a movie in New Orleans. That's Reese Witherspoon acting with Sofia in the movie Hot Pursuit. Although Reese could have been predicting the future when she said that line in the movie. Since Joe filed for divorce from Sofia in July 2023, in Happier Times, Joe revealed a crazy side to the story. He described his first date with Sofia. Joe alleged that Sofia spent the entire time throwing shade about dating him. Apparently, she said stuff like, "You're too young, you're an actor, you're this, you're that." According to Joe, Sofia was trying to talk herself out of going there. Like somehow deep down, she knew that marrying a younger guy wasn't the best idea. Almost 8 years later, inside sources are setting the record straight. Insiders claim that Sofia and Joe's marriage was over a long time before they finally announced their split. Breakup rumors really began heating up this year. After Sofia went to Italy for her 51st birthday and she didn't take Joe, I wonder if Sofia's gut instinct was telling her the real truth. It was clear to see Joe was the fun-loving younger guy. But if you didn't already know this, something about Joe is kind of crazy too. Shockingly, Joe has a secret geeky side. He loves hanging out with his buddies and playing Dungeons and Dragons like some college kid. And then there's the real and awkward truth. Joe's career has never been as successful as Sofia's. Meanwhile, Sofia has earned her fortune. Inside sources are careful about throwing too much shade at Sofia, but they claim she loves being a celebrity and she supposedly enjoys lavish trips and fancy dinners. One source set the record straight when they claim that Sofia began to choose work over being with Joe. Did you hear the kid rumors too? Sofia has one son from her first marriage. His name is Manolo and he's 31 years old. Shockingly, sources claim that Joe wasn't supportive of Sofia or her huge career anymore, but he still wanted one thing, and that was the one thing that allegedly drove them apart. Joe and Sofia got married in November 2015. At that point, she was already a mature woman. Insiders allege that Joe was always desperate to have his own children. In 2016, Sofia made a shocking remark in an interview with Edit magazine. She claimed that she knew Joe wanted kids, and she said she was open to the idea, but shockingly, Sofia said it wasn't going to happen naturally. She claimed that the thought of being an older mom didn't scare her. She was 43 years old then, and she said, "Back in my mom era, 40 was considered old, and now I don't think it is." So I wonder when the problems really started between Joe and Sofia. Insiders claim they had been dealing with ups and downs for a long time. One source said that Joe still wanted kids, but shockingly, Sofia was no longer interested. Although whenever they had been seen together, Sofia and Joe always put on a good front. But this makes me wonder, did Sofia ever forget those comments she made on her first date with Joe? Was she concerned about getting older and worried about having to support a younger guy who might leave her one day? When you look back at it now, the cracks in their relationship were easy to see. Joe and Sofia were seen leaving a restaurant. This was on Valentine's Day. They were both dressed in all black. It kind of looked like they were leaving a funeral. Sources allege that Sofia made absolutely sure she had a prenup with Joe, and in new documents filed as part of their divorce proceedings, Sofia is fighting for her prenup to be upheld. Shockingly, Joe filed for divorce first. This happened on July 26. Joe and Sofia are both claiming irreconcilable differences for their split, but Sofia is asking the court for specific things. She wants to keep her jewelry, artwork, and other personal belongings. Sofia also wants to keep all the money she made before and during her marriage. The court documents show that Sofia considers her money to be her assets. One inside source claims that Sofia is still living in her house and that Joe is living elsewhere. But will Joe soon be living with someone else too? It didn't take him long to start dating again. Her name is Caitlin O'Connor. Although sources close to Joe claim this new relationship is just casual, other people are throwing shade. It turns out there are two pretty shocking things about Joe and Caitlin. The first thing is her age. Caitlin is almost 20 years younger than Sofia, but even more shocking is how Joe met her, or maybe what Joe and Caitlin did right after they met. Joe and Caitlin went to the same screening event for a show called Winning Time: The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty. They allegedly found out that they're both from the Pittsburgh area, and then Joe and Caitlin stripped down. Shockingly, they decided to get into a hot tub together, although a source allegedly set the record straight. They claim that Joe and Caitlin weren't alone when they climbed into that hot tub. You can decide for yourself how much of a difference that makes. Sofia has always been a very attractive woman, but as a beautiful older woman, she is relying on more than just her looks after splitting from Joe. And shockingly, the news just broke that Sofia is taking on the first real dramatic role in her mega successful acting career. But Sofia is not only starring in this upcoming Netflix show, she also served as the executive producer.
Who is the one in charge?
Sofia is going back to her Colombian roots to play Griselda Blanco. In the 1970s, Griselda was a Colombian businesswoman known as the godmother in the violent and dangerous underworld. It looks like a juicy part and the kind of woman that no guy wants to mess with. Thankfully, that's not the woman that Joe has to negotiate a divorce settlement with. Inside sources are claiming that Joe and Sofia will remain friends, and Joe did do one nice thing when he filed for divorce first, if you can call it nice. Court documents show that Joe confirmed he had a prenup with Sofia. Legal sources have set the record straight. They say as long as Joe doesn't challenge the prenup, the divorce should remain friendly. So hopefully, Joe won't be trying to get any of Sofia's money out of this marriage. Although Sofia allegedly threw Joe a bone after they broke up, even though Joe never got the child he was allegedly desperate for, Sofia allegedly gave Joe custody of the dog that she adopted in 2021. The little 10-year-old Chihuahua Pomeranian mixed dog is named Bubbles, and there seems to be no doubt that Joe adores that dog like he used to adore his soon-to-be ex-wife. Are you sad about Joe and Sofia splitting up, or do you think she was right to be worried about their marriage in the first place? Does Sofia deserve to keep everything, or do you think Joe will try to challenge the prenup in the divorce? Let me know in the comments below.